On March 23rd, US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces formally announced the destruction of Islamic State's control of land in eastern Syria. The complete eradication of ISIS from eastern Syria has brought a major blow to Pakistan-backed terrorist organizations because ISIS, which is originally an offshoot of Al-Qaeda, has its splinter groups functioning in South Asia from the land of Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Islamic State, more appropriately the Islamic State of Khorasan, has been working under the leadership of various Pakistani terrorists like Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar, whose single-point agenda is to create havoc in South Asian region and the West. A report. The last shred of territory which was ruled by the Islamic State or ISIS in eastern Syria has been captured by the US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces. The Syrian state capture marks the end of Islamic State's territorial rule over a self-proclaimed caliphate after years of fighting.
We congratulate the Syrian people, and particularly the Syrian Democratic Forces, on the destruction of ISIS's fraudulent caliphate and for the liberation of ISIS's remaining territory in eastern Syria. This critical milestone in the fight against ISIS delivers a crushing strategic blow and underscores the unwavering commitment of our local partners and the global coalition to defeat ISIS.
The Islamic State, which has now been defeated in eastern Syria, announced its expansion to the Khorasan region in 2015. Even though Pakistan denies that the Islamic State of Khorasan has an organized presence in the country, but the involvement of Pakistani terror leaders with the dreaded group openly reveals its blatant lies regarding ISK's presence in the country. In 2014, the UN-proclaimed terrorist Hafiz Saeed was chosen to spearhead the Islamic State of Khorasan province as its first leader. The Pakistan-backed terrorists who have pledged their allegiance with ISIS have been perpetrating barbaric atrocities on civilians living in South Asia, Syria and the West. As a part of its vicious terror modules, the Islamic State of Khorasan's overreaching strategy also includes local and global objectives. The terror group's motivation comes from the ideas of radical Islamic terrorism, which is posing a grave threat to the humanity all across the world. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo at one side confirmed the news of complete eradication of ISIS from eastern Syria, but on the other hand he also conveyed to the media that the US will continue its fight against radical Islamic terrorism.
Our mission there hasn't changed. We still have work to do to make sure that radical Islamic terrorism doesn't continue to grow.
Also in a separate statement, the General Commander of Syrian Democratic Forces called on the global and local leaders to extend support in fighting the terrorists of ISIS, which has its franchise functioning all across the world for global destruction.
كان هذا الانتصار بهز الثمن حيث ارتقى أكثر من 11,000 شهيد من قواتنا قادة ومقاتلين، كما سقط ضحايا مدنيين كانوا هدفا لإرهاب داعش، كما أصيب أكثر من 21,000 من مقاتلين بإصابات مختلفة. وبهذه المناسبة لا يسعنا إلا أن نستذكر هؤلاء الأبطال العظام، ننحني إجلالا لذكرى الشهداء ومتمنين الشفاء العاجل لجرحانا هؤلاء الذين لولا تضحياتهم لما تحقق لنا جميعا هذا النصر.
While all the global leaders have come together in fighting against terrorism, the role of Pakistan remains skeptical because Islamabad houses some of the most dreaded terrorists of the world. A recent resolution circulated by the United States in the UN Security Council directly hints towards Azhar's association with Islamic State and Al-Qaeda for carrying out major terrorist attacks in South Asian region along with the United States in the West. The fact that Pakistani terrorists Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar share links with ISIS clearly indicates that ISIS is very well active in Pakistan, and apart from providing safe haven to Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish and Mohammad, Islamabad provides safe haven to ISIS too.